Hello, welcome to Encounters with Life. I'm Sean Abigail. I'm your host. Today, I want to talk about the subject of personal finance, and it's specifically addressed to young people. So, high school, college, and university, and new grads. A couple weeks ago, I was talking to some co op students at work, and it was clear to me that they didn't know anything about personal finance. They didn't know anything about compound interest. I was talking to them and saying that they could retire as millionaires. And for them, the idea of having $1 million was just completely foreign. The idea of saving that much for retirement, no idea. They thought perhaps there's some sort of magic. A handful of people might be able to receive $1 million, maybe as a lottery win or something like that. But in reality, the math works for you to retire as a millionaire. And that's only because of the power of compound interest. With compound interest, you're not just making a return on your investment, the money that you put aside, but you're also making a return on the interest. So you're making interest on the interest. Let's look a little bit at how this works. Let's assume that you're starting putting $100 aside per month. Actually, let's just assume for the sake of ease that you're putting aside $100 on January 1st of every year. You're putting aside $1,200 on January 1st of every year, and that you're making a 9% return on your investment. Let's assume that you start at age 22 and you go until you're age 60. How much do you actually invest? How much of your own money do you put aside? Well, $46,800. That may seem like a lot, but that's not a lot to retire on. But with the power of compound interest, you will end up with over $404,000. That is incredible. That's the power of compound interest. But as nice as 404,000 is, it isn't quite enough, is it? And before we look at other options for getting to $1 million, let's think about what happens if you start late. What happens if you start 8 years later? You will save yourself $10,800. That's $10,800 that you will put aside, less than if you started at age 22. But instead of $404,000, you will end up with $178,000. That's $225,000 less available to you in retirement. As far as saving for retirement, as far as getting to your goal of $1 million, these are the wasted years. But we can get closer to the target by upping the amount that we put in. Instead of $1,200 a year, instead of $100 a month, what if it was $200 a month? That's $50 a week. What would we get to? Well, we would put aside about $93,000 of our own money, but that would grow to over $800,000. That's getting us close to our $1 million target. And that's good news. We're not quite there yet. What if instead of having just $2,400 per year going in, what if we made a conscious choice, found an employer that has a retirement savings match? And when you're 22 years old, retirement savings match doesn't seem like such a fantastic benefit. But let me tell you, as the years go by, it's an incredible benefit. It's a wonderful benefit to have. And so instead of $2,400 per year, what if it was $4,800 per year? Then over the course of time, you would have about $1.6 million by the time you're age 60, taking an early retirement. $1.6 million. That means we made it and then some. But now let's just play a little bit of a what if game here. What if you did that, and what if your spouse did the same? What if you received an inheritance and you decided to put it in your savings? What if you get your tax refund and you put it into your savings instead of buying a brand new car? Without any fancy tricks, you can end up as a multi-millionaire. But let me share with you one of the questions that the young people had, and it was a fantastic question, and that is, how do I get started? People get confused with, okay, do I need to get a broker? Do I need to open up a brokerage account? Do I need to, how do I start? Just overwhelmed. And the answer is, to start with at least, you can simply walk into your bank and tell them you want to start a retirement savings account. There's a number of different options depending upon where you are in life and depending upon what country you live in. But there are a number of different options, and you can simply start putting the money into a mutual fund. The most important thing to do is to start early. And that's the key takeaway. The key takeaway is start saving now. You, young person, can retire as a multi-millionaire if you start saving now. The math works. It doesn't take magic. It doesn't take fancy investments that only the ultra wealthy could figure out. Simple math, simple compound interest. Put your money into a mutual fund and watch it grow. So, key takeaway, start right away. Start now. Hey, if you found this content interesting, if you think this channel has potential, please like and subscribe. And also, if the content might be helpful to someone, please share it with them. I hope that you'll help the channel to grow. Thank you. Bye-bye.